Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So let's just get right into it because the situation with Holly Jonas is completely spiraling out of control. And honestly, it is making me so incredibly mad. If you have been watching the show lately, you know that Holly is going to survive this terrifying arsenic crisis. But surviving the poison is literally just the beginning of her nightmare. Because now she is facing some absolutely shocking accusations, and it is all thanks to EJ DiMera. And, EJ, wow. Just wow. We all knew he was embracing his inner Stefano lately. He is wearing the ring, he is making the threats, he is acting like the king of the world. But this is a whole new low even for him. Let's back up a second and look at the bigger pattern here. EJ has been desperately trying to cover up the whole Coriseal drug disaster. We know that bad batch of pills from DiMera Pharmaceuticals had arsenic in them. It killed Sarah's patient Destiny. It killed Clea. And it is a massive public health crisis. So what does EJ do? He buries the tainted pills near the Horton cabin, which is just so stupid. Who buries toxic waste near a water supply where your own family hangs out? But that is exactly what happened. The well water got contaminated, and poor Holly, who was just out there dealing with all her own teenage drama and the fallout from the Sophia mess, ends up getting poisoned. So she passes out, she gets rushed to the hospital, and she is fighting for her life. And EJ panics, because if the hospital runs a full tox screen and finds arsenic, the police and the environmental agencies are going to trace it right back to the Horton cabin, and then right back to DiMera Pharmaceuticals. And EJ goes down. So what does he do? He decides to frame a teenage girl for drug abuse to cover his own tracks. Just let that sink in. He is willing to destroy Holly's reputation and ruin her life just to save his own skin. And the writers are really leaning into this evil EJ era, which I guess is entertaining, but it is also just so hard to watch him be this cruel to someone in his own family orbit. EJ obviously has to make sure Holly doesn't actually die. He needs Sarah to treat her for arsenic poisoning. So he probably manipulates the lab results or fast-tracks some specific information so Sarah knows exactly what medical protocol to use to save Holly's life. But at the same time, he makes it look like Holly willingly took some illegal pills. He probably plants the pills or alters the police report. It is a total frame-up, and it works perfectly. Because the next thing we see in the big promo is Tate and Sarah standing in Holly's hospital room, completely accusing her of being on drugs again. And you guys, the look on Holly's face, it just broke my heart. She is lying there in that hospital bed. She just survived being poisoned. She is probably exhausted and terrified. And the two people who are supposed to have her back are standing over her, interrogating her like she is a criminal. Holly is insisting. She's literally begging them to believe her. Those pills are not mine, she keeps saying. But they just look at her with that disappointed, judgmental stare. Sarah, I kind of get. Sarah's a doctor. She is looking at the fake evidence EJ provided, and she has a professional obligation to address what looks like a drug overdose. Plus, Sarah's already super stressed out investigating DiMera with Brady and Xander, so her mind is probably going a million miles an hour. But Tate? Oh man, Tate. What were they thinking with Tate here? Tate and Holly have been through so much together. They survived the whole Sophia nightmare. They have fought so hard to be together. He is supposed to be her person. But the second some fake pills show up, he immediately assumes the worst about her. He asks her if they can just talk about it, using that soft, condescending voice like he is trying to calm down an addict. And Holly just absolutely loses it. She flies into a total rage. She starts screaming at Tate to get out of her room. And honestly, good for her. I would do the exact same thing. Imagine almost dying because some evil corporate CEO polluted your drinking water, and then your boyfriend accuses you of relapsing on drugs. It is the ultimate betrayal of trust. Holly is lashing out, she is screaming, she is crying, and she kicks Tate out. It is a really powerful scene. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Tate. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. He is a teenager, he is scared, he thought he was going to lose his girlfriend. When the doctors tell you it's drugs, you tend to believe the doctors. So maybe Tate is just acting out of fear. But still, he should know Holly better than this. He should know she wouldn't do this again. I changed my mind. I am not being too harsh. Tate messed up big time here. He should have believed her. And this whole situation brings up a massive, glaring elephant in the room. Where's Nicole? Holly's in the hospital. She almost died from poisoning. She is being accused of a massive drug relapse, and her mother is nowhere to be found. We all know that if Nicole Walker was in Salem right now, she would be tearing that hospital apart. She would be ripping EJ a new one. She would never ever believe that Holly took those pills. Nicole would be on a warpath, but Nicole isn't there. And the fans on social media are already talking about this nonstop. The writers are clearly handling Nicole's absence off screen. They will probably have someone mention that Nicole is stuck in Paris or dealing with some emergency and can't get a flight back. Because, let's be real, the showrunners know they are in a really tight spot here. Who actually believes this is going to end well if they try to recast Nicole? Nobody. Fans are still absolutely outraged over how Ariane Zucker was treated and her firing, the lawsuit, the behind-the-scenes drama. It is all still so fresh in everyone's minds. If the show tried to bring in a new actress to play Nicole right now, especially for such a heavy, emotional storyline with Holly, the fans would completely riot. It would be a disaster. So they have to just awkwardly write around her absence. It makes the storyline feel a bit clunky in places, because Nicole's absence makes zero sense narratively, but we all know the real world reasons why it has to be this way. So Holly is basically on her own. She is isolated. Her mom is off screen. Her boyfriend doesn't believe her. Her aunt Sarah is being manipulated by EJ's fake lab results. Holly is just completely surrounded by people who think she is a liar and a drug addict. And EJ is just sitting back, smirking, getting away with literal attempted murder and environmental terrorism. It makes you wonder how long EJ can actually keep this up. Because Sarah's already investigating DiMera Pharmaceuticals with Brady and Xander. Sarah knows something is wrong with the Coriseal drugs. If she starts looking closer at Holly's lab results, she might realize that the arsenic levels don't match a typical drug overdose. She might realize the pills were planted. And if Sarah figures out that EJ poisoned her niece and then framed her, oh, the fallout is going to be nuclear. I just really hope Holly doesn't actually spiral from this. When everyone treats you like an addict, sometimes it pushes you to actually become one just to numb the pain. I really hope the writers don't take her down that dark path again. She deserves a win. She deserves someone to stand up and say, I believe you. Maybe it will be Johnny? Johnny's already snooping around his dad's company. If Johnny finds out EJ framed Holly, that might be the final straw that makes Johnny take his father down for good. Anyway, I am just so fired up about this whole plot. It is messy, it is emotional, and it is classic Days of Our Lives. I will be watching every single second of it, even if I have to yell at my screen every time EJ shows his face. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Tate was wrong to doubt Holly? Do you think EJ is going to get caught soon? Let's talk about it.